Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry that we're getting a little bit late here. We had a little, technical difficulties. It wouldn't be fun, without keeping it on our toes there. But I just want to say welcome to this webinar. We are so excited about it. This is hosted by Travefy Academy with our special featured guest, Catherine Heeg, where today we will chat on how to build your social marketing playbook. But first, I do want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Stephanie Grice, and I'm the Community Outreach Manager here at Travefy. And like I said before, I am so excited to be here with you all and chat with Catherine Heeg today. Now, before we meet Catherine, I do want to quickly explain how today's webinar will work. So it should last around 20 to 30 minutes, the actual presentation, with time at the end to do a Q&A. So if you do have any questions throughout this presentation, go ahead and ask those. There is that question box available to you where you can ask those questions. And then at the end, we'll just go over them during the Q&A session with Catherine. But now, without further ado, I want to introduce Catherine to you. So Catherine Heeg is very passionate about social media, as you can see here today, because she's here to speak about it. And she's also passionate about the marketing in the tourism and hospitality industry. So for decades, she has trained and led sales and marketing teams in our industry. She ties together experiences gained from this inside knowledge when providing those social strategies. So with this practical understanding, she specializes in inspiring social media success in her speaking engagements with international audiences, including this one today. She's also based in Calgary, so Catherine works with professionals to amplify, engage, and leverage all aspects of marketing. She is also the past president of the Skull International Calgary. She's also a business owner who loves to ski, cycle, and swim. So with that, everyone, please help me introduce and welcome Catherine Heeg.
Thanks, Stephanie. It's great to be here. I'm so excited to be working with the Travefy Academy, and you have been just a treat to work with. It's awesome.
Well, it's great working with you too. We're so excited. I know we've heard that a lot from a lot of the Travefy users as well.
Thank you. So we do have a treat for everybody else today. There is a resource guide to go along with this session, and you'll see the link to it at the bottom of your screen. And I believe it's also in the message box or chat box. Is that correct, Stephanie?
Yeah, so I think it should be under handouts, which should be close to that chat box. So it should be in the same area.
Great. And if you can't grab it there, the link is down at the bottom of the screen, and you'll see it a couple more times as well. But remember that it is case sensitive because it's a bit.ly link. So let's just dive right in because we've got a jam-packed, content-rich session for you today, and I want to make sure that you walk away with what you need. So do any of your days look like this? Does your social marketing strategy consist of hoping and praying that it's going to work, but not real sure if you're doing it right or not? Or does your playbook look like this? So many moving pieces, even a football player or a social media maven couldn't figure it out. Well, maybe you have some days like this, really good days. You know, those days when your videos get some plays and your ads bring you some phone calls, and then things change and what you had done is no longer working. So let's take a little trip down memory lane. Some of you maybe remember this slide carousel, and remember when this was our way to showcase our destinations and tours and tell our stories. Well, back when I worked for an outbound tour company, I quickly learned not to put this into my checked bag when traveling. You can probably imagine what happened to this in my checked bag. Well, then when I worked at a travel agency eons ago, this was our main source of reaching clients and suppliers. Okay, my desk phone at the agency was a little bit more fashionable. It was beige. So now we all carry this technology right in our back pocket. So for those of you who are still giggling over that slide carousel and that old telephone, just keep in mind that one day Facebook Live and 360 video is going to seem vintage. But the real goal of travel marketing and social marketing is to connect with others and inspire them to travel. We want to provide them with that emotional connection. So we've talked about the old-timey fun marketing stuff from the past, and here's what your desk might have looked like or what it looks like today. These tools have changed dramatically and for the better over time. So thank goodness we've now got a more portable way to tell our stories and make connections, thanks to Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram and GoToWebinar even. So luckily that slide carousel now lives in the museum and it's been replaced by newer tools. So today we're going to look at how we can win with video and social ads, plus stay ahead of the game. As we dive into this social marketing playbook, we're going to try to make a touchdown with our video and ads. We're trying to keep with this sports theme, and that's my version of it. So while video and ads are changing constantly, in our time today, we're going to dive into the highlights and give you some plays that you can use today, tomorrow, and next week. So let's start with video, because right now video is the hottest thing going. Facebook sees over 8 billion average daily video views from its users. And the new Facebook algorithm gives higher priority to video. And that's any type of video, whether it's a video slideshow, whether it's a live presentation like what Stephanie and I did on as a Facebook Live a couple weeks ago, whether it's 360 or whether it's a quick 10-second video that you shoot from your office. You're going to get way more reach. And remember, in your worksheet or the handout,
Hey, Catherine. Oh, I think we might have, can you unmute yourself? It might have just muted really quick. Oh, here, let me. Catherine, can you hear me really quick?
okay, now
There
can
we
you
go.
hear me?
Yes. Okay.
All right, great. So
We
now
just
I've been
lost you in
unmuted.
Yep, there you go.
Perfect. Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay. Tech. So why are we talking about video even today? Well, because there's so many ways to showcase your company and your own brand via video. So whether it's live streaming or 360 video, you've got lots of places to interact via video. And did you know that 78% of people watch online videos every single week? And 55% watch video every single day. So even though there's lots of experienced people on the line here today, I want to showcase a simple tool that I think is really underutilized in our industry. And it's a video slideshow. Now, I bet you all have tons of photos lurking on your hard drive or lurking on your phone. You can change those still images into a video slideshow. And here's how you do it. It's really simple. On Facebook, you just make like you're going to share a photo or video and then click on Create a Slideshow. And then you upload your images one by one, and it puts those still images together into a video format for you. It is so easy and so slick. There is a quick pro tip here that I want to share with you. And see up at the top where you have the opportunity to create your video as a square or a rectangle. You want to always create it as a square video, because it's been shown that square videos get 3 times the engagement over rectangular videos. And it's just because it takes up more of the available real estate on Facebook. And another pro tip is that at the very end, you want to upload a slide that has your contact information on it. And in keeping with our sports theme here, you would want to create a contact slide, something like this, square in shape, and that has your contact information on it. So now if we want to take this up a notch and look at some other ways to create video slideshows and be able to use it on other platforms other than Facebook, there's some other tools out there, and you'll see some of them listed on the side. And also in that worksheet handout for you, we've got these listed. So any of these tools are available to you. Some are free, some have a slight charge to them, but it's all the same idea. And with a tool like Animoto, you can not only share it to Facebook, you can put it on Twitter, you can embed it into your blog, you could create a link to it, and you can even put it on YouTube. So it's really slick, super easy to do. And once you take a second and type into the chat box some other tools that maybe you use that aren't listed here on the screen. So on the screen, we've got Animoto, Flipagram, Adobe Spark, Showbox, PhotoGrid. Are there any other tools that you all are using that aren't listed here? If so, type them into the chat box. And we'll just carry on, and then Stephanie, as we get to the Q&A session at the end, if you want to read off some of these other tools so people have an opportunity to jot them down in their handout, that would be great.
Definitely. I have two here that I see from people. One is Ripple, R-I-P-L, and then the other one is Canva, which we did talk about in the Facebook one, so that's a popular one too.
Yeah, Ripple. I love Ripple. I've played around with that a little bit. There's another tool out there, Promo. It's got a bit of a steeper price tag attached to it, but again, really simple to use. So when you're thinking about creating your own video, there's a couple of strategies that you want to keep in mind. First is to keep it short and keep it simple. And that means easy to figure out what you're focusing on, clear, crisp images, and make sure it's awesome. Choose your best images that depict your top-selling destinations and have a little bit of humor to it. Anytime you can create a little bit of fun or a little bit of humor, you're going to be a winner with your video. And speaking of short, how short do we need to keep it? Well, everybody asks me this. What's a good length? Anything under a minute is good. Anything around 30 or 40 seconds, you're golden. Now, this is just because people's attention spans are shrinking. We're all kind of like that puppy on caffeine. And I think that's because so many of us are using Facebook or other social sites as a mobile only. So right now, Facebook users, 56.5% of Facebook users are mobile only. So that means that we want to tailor our posts and our videos to bite-sized chunks using outstanding graphic and video. So are you ever wondering what people really want to see on video? Here's a couple of ideas of video content that's working right now. Starting at the top, it's tips and tricks. So we've all got a number of these up our sleeve. So it might be travel tips or packing tips or highlight a destination and some hot tips that go along with that. You might also shine the spotlight on a recent fam trip that you went on or a webinar. Or you might focus on a day in the life. People always like that behind the scenes look at something. So whether it's a behind the scenes look at what their vacation is going to look like or what their cruise is going to look like, whether it's a behind the scenes look at a brewery tour, a concert backstage tour, or something behind the scenes is going to work extremely well. And then videos are always captivating. Interviews are always captivating. So you might want to interview on video your favorite BDM or a happy client. Or when you're on that fam trip, think about interviewing the resort or the cruise line staff or the hotel general manager. when you're thinking about interviewing somebody on video, make sure that you have an external microphone for your phone. And I'll show you a sample of that a little bit later. And then last but not least, go local. So when you're on a fam trip, make sure that you capture some video of those iconic sites. So you're in Italy, you want to get some video of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The list is just endless. And you might also go local and capture the scene at a local market or capture the essence of a local cooking class. All of these things play out really well right now on video. And you can use them in your next live stream or video that you shoot on a fam or right in your office. So Stephanie, here's that first poll question. If you want to load up the poll, and then everyone, you can just answer within the poll. And the question is, how many videos have you created? A being 10 or more, B being less than 10, and C, none just yet. If you want to type in your answer, and then Stephanie is going to use the magic of technology and tally those all up, and we'll have a percentage of people who have answered A, B, or C.
Yeah, so it looks like we've had most people have voted, and it looks like 52% are saying none yet, 29% less than 10, and 19% are saying 10 or more. So it looks like the highest is none yet, which is exciting because after this, I'm sure that number will change.
Yes, let's hope so. And even if you've not created any videos yet, you're in the right place because that video slideshow that we talked about a couple minutes ago is super easy to do. And that'll give you a video within 5 minutes. The hardest part about that slideshow video is choosing the best images for your video. Putting it all together is simple. So let's look at some ways to save time because everybody says, oh, I think video takes too much time. So we talked about the variety of different types of video that you can put together, whether it's that slideshow video or a live streaming video. You can repurpose those videos in so many different ways that it'll make it seem like you've hardly spent any time on it at all. So let's look at this video repurposing path. Let's say you shot that video, and then you can create all of these other social posts and opportunities to go along with that video, right down to using it at a consumer night or using it in an ad. So that's an awful lot of ways that you can get some more mileage from that video that you created. So what else can we do with it? Well, you can also embed that video into your website, your blog, or your e-newsletter. So what I find and what I hear from other travel consultants out there is that what holds people back from creating video is the fear of creating video and the gear. The fear, I just have to say, after shooting a ton of videos myself, it really does get easier over time. And the gear, let's take a look at these nitty-gritty tools that are going to help you make videos a lot easier. So whether you're creating video slideshows or live streaming or doing some 360 videos, here's some tools that you can use to create and edit and give a really polished look to your video. And again, these tools are listed in that handout, or you can snap a photo or take a screenshot of this. And these are the tools that I find really helpful in our world. Of course, using your phone is great. I use Movie Maker an awful lot. Creating my video, I use a tool called Screencast-O-Matic. Kind of a funny name, but it works great because I can screen capture and shoot video right from my desktop. And all of these other tools here are either free or just a minimal fee to use them. Then if you want to go live from your desktop, like Stephanie and I did a couple of weeks ago, we went live onto Facebook and we used a tool called Be Live, which you'll see on your screen. OBS Studio has a little bit larger learning curve to it, and the Ecamm Live is for Mac only, but all of them, Ecamm Live and Be Live, are really easy to use. And if you're going live or doing any video from your phone, you'll want to get an external microphone. We talked about this a little bit earlier if you're interviewing people. This is what I use. It's the iRig lav mic, and it just plugs right into my phone. You've got one microphone with it, or you can get the version that has two microphones, which is great if you're interviewing somebody. And they're really inexpensive. This was less than $100. If you're looking for something else, there's a Shure Plus microphone, which is about $200. And again, it plugs right into your phone. And you might also want to get a Diva light, so a little light that clips right onto your phone or that you can use in your office. So now we're doing video, we've got great reach, we've got some good engagement. How do we amp this up a bit more? We can amp it up using social ads. They're a great way to reach not only your clients, but also potential new clients. So you can create an ad using this great video that you shot. And this gives you the chance to reach as many people as your budget allows. Even doing a regular post and advertising it will get you more reach than just an organic post without an ad. But if you want to take that up a notch, create a video ad, and you'll be cutting through all that clutter and chaos out there and reaching your great audiences. Now, social ads are so cool, and you can target to your own unique audience, right down to zip code and what they like to read. So here's where you're going to get started creating a custom ad audience. And this ad audience is the foundation for your ads that you're going to create. So how you start is by going into Ads Manager. You see the navigation at the bottom, and then you can create custom audiences. You can create as many of them as you want, and you can tailor them to the specific destination or specific type of travel that you're marketing. So here's the next poll question, Stephanie. Let's see how many have created a Facebook ad just yet. So the first answer is yes, I boosted a post. B is yes, I created an ad in Ads Manager. And C, not just yet.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot coming in here.
And as you're voting, keep in mind that you can vote in the poll itself, and then Stephanie is going to add them all up and get out the calculator or the abacus and some percentages here.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is this helps me, but we'll just pretend that I'm doing really smart calculations really fast. But it looks like we okay, so we have a winner, but it is a little close. So we have 36% said, yes, I boosted a post, which is really cool. 21% said, yes, I created an ad in Ads Manager. And then 43% said, not yet.
Okay, well, wonderful. If you boosted a post, that's a great start. Taking that up a notch and creating some really targeted audiences is going to make it even more worth your while. And if you've created an ad in Ads Manager, that's awesome for that 21% of you who have. I'm going to show you some tips and ideas that maybe you haven't quite found in Ads Manager yet. And for the rest of you who have not done an ad yet, you're in the right place. We're going to walk through this, albeit pretty quickly and kind of the 30,000-foot overview. But I also will show you some other resources available to up your game when creating your first ad. So when you're creating an ad in Ads Manager, you're going to want to create some saved audiences. And you can create as many of these as you want. And we're going to take a look at how you can target specifically to zip codes. Zip codes may be in your area or in an economic, socioeconomic neighborhood that you want to be targeting for the type of trip that you're planning. So you can add in a whole list of zip codes right here, and then it will show this ad to people who live in that zip code and meet some other criteria that we're going to look at. So once you have your zip codes added, you select the age group that you'd like to target, and then you can start by browsing interests. And you'll find all kinds of great stuff in here under hobbies and activities, food and drink, fitness and wellness is where I find a lot of things that you can tailor. So if you're marketing a golf trip or a yoga trip, fitness and wellness is going to be your category to dive into. If you're looking to market to people who like beaches or theme parks or like to snorkel, that's going to be in hobbies and activities. So you couple these interests with those zip codes and you're getting a clearer snapshot for your own audience. So let's narrow it down even further so that our audience is crystal clear and really good at bringing in leads. So you can target then by interests. And this is where you're going to use that suggestions box and start typing in interests, a keyword. And so I've just typed in cruises. So here is all your list of different cruises that people may have expressed an interest in and that you can target them based on that interest. So when you're looking through all of these, make sure that you look at the interest size. So what I have circled here tells us that there's over 64,000 people that are interested in cruises only. And each of these interests will show you a different audience size. But make sure when you're selecting that you choose interest. Once in a while, you'll see employer listed here rather than interest. Not only is handy if you want people that work for a specific employer, otherwise you're going to choose people that are interested in this topic. So here's another example. I typed in luxury because I know a lot of people are targeting that luxury market. So here's your choices for audiences that would be luxury related and some other suggestions and audience size for you. So imagine how helpful this is going to be when you're reaching out to those affluent travelers. And then you can also type in other interests. For example, if you want people that read Travel and Leisure magazine, there's your option. If you want people that are interested in yoga or physical fitness, there's options for that. So as you're creating your audience, think of as many attributes as you can of your intended audience, of your perfect client. So you might ask yourself, what do they like to do in their spare time? What publications do they like to read? What sports do they watch? What sports do they participate in? What types of food do they enjoy? Now, if you're not certain what kinds of questions or what your perfect client might look like, you might want to interview one of your own clients that fits the demographic of your intended audience, and then build your audience around their interests. The other thing is you might also talk to your top suppliers and talk to your BDM about what their audiences look like, what their demographic looks like, and then tailor your own audience to fit the demographic of your top supplier. So we talked about audiences quite a bit, and for those of you who have already created an audience, here's that poll question for you. How many audiences have you created so far? And now remember, if you've created 10 or more, the answer is A, less than 10, B, and C is none, but not just yet. And kind of a note as you're thinking about your own custom audiences, you can create as many audiences as you like. I probably have more than 100 audiences created, and I just keep tailoring them to different market segments and then tweaking them to find out which audiences are working the best. So Stephanie, how's that abacus working for you?
Yeah, it's working pretty well. It looks like we have big winner here. So it looks like there's a lot of people are going to learn a lot from this webinar because so far we have 55% are saying none yet, but then 39% says less than 10, and 6% says 10 or more.
Wow, a round of applause for that
Yeah.
6%. That's awesome. And even 10 or less, that's a really good start because what we've talked about today, you can go back and edit those audiences, tweak them if you need to, or start from scratch and create brand new audiences that focus on what you want to be marketing. And if you've not created any yet, well, then you've got a fresh slate to start from. And here's some best practices for you when you're creating your audiences. You want to remember to tailor them to each and every promotion. Because if you're promoting a cruise, you're going to have a separate audience than if you're promoting a yoga and meditation retreat. And keep them at a manageable size. And that's kind of a hot button question. Everybody asks me, well, what's a manageable size? It really depends on what you're trying to promote. But you don't want something that's larger than 4 million people. And you probably don't want something that's smaller than a couple 100,000 people. And you want to maximize your audiences and maximize your options within those audiences. So that means tailoring them as closely as possible to your perfect client, because this is creating some warm contacts for you, putting you in front of the people that are going to be interested in what you're talking about and what you're marketing. And then, of course, there's a never with this best practices. Never do a mass boost post to millions upon millions of people. We don't want to see an audience that's 6 or 10 million people because it's not going to get you the people that you want. So let's take a look at what your clients might look like. If they look like this, targeting to your own unique audience is really easy because there's an opportunity within Facebook Ads Manager to upload your own client list. So this means that you have a list of all of the emails from your clients. You put it into a Excel spreadsheet and then you upload it to Facebook. Facebook mixes and matches up those email addresses to Facebook users and gives you an audience of just those people. It is so slick. And remember, we were talking about videos earlier. Once you've created some videos and posted them to your Facebook page, you can create an audience of people that have looked at your videos. So it is so cool because then you can market to your customer list, your client list, as well as to people who have engaged with your videos. Isn't that cool? It's just amazing, all the stuff that you can do. So now that we have these perfect audiences created, our goal is to create social ads that reach the right people at the right time and in the right place. Having these great audiences set up is that first step. It's the foundation. It's the building block. And now we get to create some ads that reach your unique audience. So when you go to create an ad and the navigation is down at the bottom, you'll have all these kinds of choices. We're just going to talk about video views today because we talked about creating videos and we want to maximize your use of your video. So that's going to be this video views option here. And you can create audiences based on those video viewers, or you can create ads that focus on videos that you've created. So when you choose this video views, you're going to have an opportunity to set up your ad focusing on a video that you've posted to your Facebook page. So when you go through this ad creation template, you'll be able to choose a video post that you've uploaded, write some text with it, add your own URL, so where you want to drive people for this ad. So you might want to drive them to your website where you're talking about the destination, or you might want to drive them to your website where you have more information on the trip or the destination that you're talking about. And you want to create a really spectacular headline, and you can also add a call to action button. So here on this example, you'll see that there's a learn more button. There's a variety of other buttons that you can choose as well. So having that call to action is really important. And then last but not least, you want to be able to track this back to your website. And that's where at the bottom here, you see the Facebook pixel that's set up. Setting that Facebook pixel up is a couple of steps, but it rewards you because you're able to track people that have gone from your ad to your website. Then you can create more audiences from those people and target even more specifically. So as I said, there's lots of details that go along with setting up a successful ad campaign. And if you want the scoop on how to do this, I've created an infographic that's called 21 Steps to Social Ad Success. And you can download it using this bit.ly link. And if you're listening to this live today, I'm also going to be sending you this in a follow-up letter that I'll create for you. But if you're listening as an archived webinar, you'll be able to download from this link. And remember, it is case sensitive. And you're also able to find some other cool free resources here. You'll see my blog is just loaded with free resources, articles written on how to set up ads, how to do video, how to maximize your email marketing, all kinds of things related to social marketing. And you'll see also that there's some free resources here. And these are some more infographics, plus a really cool ebook from Travefy. And I also have some social media packages available for you where I'll build or renovate your social sites and or post on your behalf. So today we've covered how to get into the video game and make a touchdown with your social ads. And while this might seem like a whole lot of plays in your playbook, we can save you some time and effort with your social marketing. This is where you can have more time in your day because you don't have to worry about researching, writing, and uploading. You don't have to stress about what to post. We'll post it for you. You can spend your time creating video, creating great ads that go along with this. And as a special for you today for tuning in live on this webinar, if you sign up for the Facebook posting package and one other package, we'll customize a video for you that showcases why it's so valuable to use a travel advisor. I've posted this on behalf of some other clients of mine, and they've gotten great reach and engagement on this. So just go ahead and sign up for these packages by October 18th, and you'll get that special video customized with your contact information at the end. And Stephanie has some information for you too about Travefy.
Yeah, so thank you so much. By the way, I have to tell you, Dawn just said, Catherine, you are always so informative. I learned some things during that. That was awesome. Yeah, but as Catherine said, so many of you may already know about Travefy, but many of you may not. So this webinar is presented by Travefy Academy, which is part of Travefy. To give you a small little plug to tell you what we do, we are an itinerary and quote building tool that you can use to create beautifully branded itineraries that you can share multiple ways via PDF, mobile app, a URL, including you can also share these itineraries or quotes you create and share them on your social media. So it also kind of is a 2-for-1 in there. But you can actually get started today by starting with a free trial. If you go to travefy.com/pro, it's totally free to sign up, and you get access to all the features. You can use everything, and then of course, our support team is there for you as well. But otherwise, feel free, go on there and check us out.
Great. Well, that's very cool. Your itineraries look amazing, Stephanie.
Oh, I thank you. Thanks. I'll tell the team that you said
Oh, good, good.
that.
Let's open it up to Q&A. And Stephanie, if we've got some questions in there that we can answer right away, that'd be great. And keep typing in your questions.
Yeah, so I have a couple questions for you that came in during. So one is this was during when we were kind of talking about the videos at the beginning. Someone asked, so a day in the life video and the interview video, are those supposed to be under 45 seconds as well?
Oh, that's a great question. Who asked that?
Sandy asked that.
Sandy. Sandy, that's a great question. If you can keep it under a minute, that's awesome. If a day in the life or the interview goes a little longer, so long as it's interesting and captivating and intriguing, people are going to hang on. But we just don't want anything that extends for more than 2 or 3 minutes, because you're going to start losing viewers at that point.
That's great.
So,
And then, oh, sorry, did you have more?
no, just a great question, Sandy. And as you're thinking about interviewing, also think about what the background noise is going to be and maybe scope it out in advance so that you get a good background sort of away from the noise so that your interview becomes really clear and crisp and useful for people.
Awesome. That's great. And we also had another on the video topic. Kevin asked, does sharing video from something like YouTube get the same reach as creating your own video?
Oh, I love that question, Kevin. Thank you for asking that. I never share videos from YouTube. And here's why. Because when you share a YouTube link to Facebook, it shows, and even to Twitter, it shows up just as a tiny thumbnail. And it looks ugly. People are going to scroll right by it. What you want to do is upload your video from your hard drive to any of these social sites, because then it shows up nice and big, takes up all of the real estate available, and typically it will start playing as somebody is scrolling through their feed. So you stand a better chance of people seeing it, sticking around for more than 2 seconds to look at it, and potentially even clicking on your learn more button or clicking on the call to action button that you have. So if you're going to be sharing from YouTube, really the only place I share from YouTube is to Pinterest, because it shows up just fine on Pinterest. So Kevin, I hope that answers your question, and please take any video and take it from your hard drive to your social sites, and you'll find way more success that way.
Awesome. And I have kind of a little more a tricky question. We might have to come back to this, but it's Francesca asked if uploading emails to Facebook. So when you were talking about uploading for the audience, does it infringe on the new and very strict data protection laws that you would find like in the UK?
Oh, that's a great question. Who asked that one, Stephanie?
Francesca did.
Francesca. Okay. Francesca, that's a great question. From what I understand, and I just had a conversation with Facebook the other day, I actually talked to somebody from Facebook. When you have the opportunity to email them, you also have the opportunity to put them onto Facebook. Facebook does not feel that it is infringing on any rights at this point in time. I would take that one step further, and just whatever you're sending to people, make sure that there's an opt-out option. So if they're getting an email from you, make sure there's an unsubscribe button. And if you're uploading their information to Facebook, it's just capturing their email address and you're able to show ads to them. Remember, any of those ads that you show or links that you provide to them, make sure you have an unsubscribe button. Francesca, that's a great question. If you want to dive into that further, you can also take that up with Facebook. We've got a great help section, and you can look in that help section, or you can ask them to contact you and you can ask that question specifically.
Awesome. And then this kind of a little bit of different security, but kind of on, the use of different materials. But Julie asked, what about using music to your slideshow? Because what music are you allowed to use? So basically, is there music that you might get in trouble for using or where you can find music to use?
Oh, that's a great question, Julie. If you're using the Facebook slideshow creation tool, they have music that you can use that's available for you to use royalty free. And if you're using any of those other tools, the majority of them have royalty free music that you can use as well. If you're looking to create something that doesn't offer you that option, there are some royalty-free music sites that you can go to. For example, I believe CanStock has music as well as images. And otherwise, just Google royalty-free music, and they will give you opportunities to buy clips or use them for free, depending on the rights that are attached to them. But one more thing with that, Julie, make sure that you're using it legally, because a friend of mine used some music that he created himself, but Facebook came back and wanted to see that he had the right to use that music. So make sure that you are using it with the correct permissions.
Oh, wow, that's interesting that they check in on that. It's good to know.
Yeah, and they must have some
Yeah,
fancy algorithm that does that, because I
yeah.
can't see some little guy sitting in the back room listening
Oh,
to
yeah.
everybody's music.
That would be a lot to go through.
Yeah.
So another question here was, and these kind of go, two people kind of asked the same question. So Leslie asked, how many photos are recommended for making a still photo video of optimal length? So kind of the slideshow. But then another person, Marina, asked, how many still images does it take to create a video about 1 minute length? So I don't know if you want to answer how many images you think it makes to make a minute, and then what you believe the optimal length might be of that.
Thanks, Stephanie. Those are great questions. Let's start with Leslie's question, the number of photos. If you're using the Facebook slideshow option, it gives you up to 10 spaces to put photos in. But remember, if you want to have your contact information at the end, I leave those last 2 spaces for contact information. That way people get a chance to see your contact information for a little longer time. And then that means that you have 8 spaces for images. So that'll give you 10. If you're using something like Animoto, I believe their number of image spaces, opportunities is the same. And if you're creating something like on iMovie or Movie Maker, you can upload as many as you want. But remember, people's attention spans are shrinking. Remember, we talked about the puppy on caffeine. So I would keep it pretty short. And Marina, you asked about creating a slideshow video of 1 minute or less. That's a great question, and it ties right in with what Leslie's question was as well, because when you create that video slideshow, you have the chance to set the timing of the slides, whether you want each slide visible for a half a second, 2 seconds. I think there's even a 5-second option. So you can create that to go as fast as you want it to flip through those images. So then if you have 10 images, say, and you want it to be a minute, then just figure out what time frame you want each image to go through at. Typically, when I'm setting them up for clients of mine, I do it about a half a second or a second on each image, because people's, again, attention spans are shrinking and we want to keep them engaged. So the faster we move through them, the quicker they get a sense of what it is that you're talking about, and they can always play it again. So they can go back and look at those images again, and they can also stop it if they want to take a closer look at one of those images. So great questions. I love this. This is so fun to hear everybody's questions.
I know. Yeah, I feel like we could sit here forever. It's so good. And we are kind of getting close on time, but I do have Two quick questions that I feel like are a little important because one person did ask that they understand to promote. So we were talking about promoting on Facebook. Do you have to have a Facebook business page or can you do it on a personal page?
Oh, who asked that question?
So Alfie asked that question.
Elfie?
Mm-hmm.
Elfie,
Yep. That's
that's
great.
a great question. I hear that question an awful lot. You have to have a business page to do any type of advertising or boosting of a post. And keep in mind that if you're doing business on your personal page, like if you're advertising different trips or if you're putting up any supplier graphics that talk about an early booking bonus or something, Facebook is likely to slap your hand or close down your personal page because they don't want you doing any business on your personal page. You need to have a business page to do that. So Alfie, great question. And please do all of your business on your business page.
That's awesome. And Catherine, to be sensitive of your time, do you want to answer just one more question?
Sure, let's do one more and then we'll close it out.
Perfect. So this is kind of this is, I like this one. Juma just asked this. It just came in. It says, how do you gain likes on Facebook real quick? I know that is a huge answer that you could say, but is there like a short answer that you could say that's your favorite way to get likes on Facebook?
Oh, was it Julie that asked that?
It was Juma.
Juma. Oh, great question, Juma. And yes, that's worthy of a whole nother webinar unto
Yes.
itself. But I'll give you one quick way to do it. One quick way to get more fans on your social pages is to invite them. So I got two ways for you. One way, invite them. On your business page, you'll see a little button off to the right side that says invite friends. Do that maybe once a week, invite 10 or 15 of your friends to like your business page. The other way is to change your email signature line so that in your email signature line, you usually have your name and your phone number. Add in some type of phrase that invites people to like your business page and gives them a reason to like your business page. So in that email signature line, you might say something like, P.S. Do you need great ideas for your next cruise vacation? Come like my Facebook page because we're talking all about cruising. And then make the word Facebook page a hyperlink so that when they click on the word Facebook page, it goes right to your Facebook business page. Okay, so that's a great question, Juma. There's lots of other ways to get more fans. And in fact, on my blog, I've written a number of blogs about getting more fans on your social sites. So go check that out. And since that's such a great question, I bet you other people have it as well. I will put something in the follow-up letter that you get about how to increase your fan base.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like Catherine mentioned too, she's going to follow up too. So I know there was questions that didn't get answered. So feel free to reach out to us. Some people are asking too about the if this is recorded, and it is. So if there's anyone you know who that missed it, or you want to share this, you will see it. I think it'll just take maybe about a half an hour after this gets done to render, and then it'll send automatically to you. And feel free if you have questions, though, you can reply to that email. Catherine will also be reaching out. But of course, you know where to find us if you do have any questions. And Catherine, thank you so much again. This is awesome. This was so much information that you think you know, but you don't know. There's so much stuff still out there to learn. So this is really cool.
Great, Stephanie. Thank you. And I hate to tell you this, but it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh,
There is
yeah.
so many cool features, both in video and ads, that we could go on for days about it. But this gives you that tip of the iceberg. And I'm hoping that people go out and try this, give it a whirl. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Catherine. And everyone, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with us here and be on the lookout for more Travefy Academy webinars and for all of Catherine's great Facebook Lives and blogs. So thanks again, everyone.
Well, thank you, Stephanie, and thank you everyone for joining us today and sticking around. We'll look forward to seeing you next time.
Talk to you later.